What's up YouTube, Jack Sutcliffe here and welcome back to JS Fitness, or if you're just tuning in, welcome. I hope you enjoy the review today and the rest of the content that's up on my page. If you haven't checked it out yet, just go down below, hit the link and see what I've got to offer. I'm sure you're going to like some of the reviews I've got. If not, and there's something missing that you'd like reviewing, let me know. Anyway, today we're going to be reviewing EVOGEN Isoject. Basically, what is this? This is EVOGEN's isolate whey protein. If you're not sure of what isolate whey protein is, it's basically the best form of whey on the market. There's no blend, it's just out and up the isolate. There's, like I say, there's no blend, there's no extra ingredients such as like concentrate and all that sort of stuff. It's the fastest absorbing protein out there, so you know, if you are kind of wanting probably the best results, then you're gonna want isolate. The only problem is it's quite expensive, but if you're wanting the best stuff like anything in the world, it's going to be more expensive. But anyway, I've got here the vanilla bean flavor. One thing that I am quite interested about EVOGEN is they're a fairly new company. They haven't been around as long as others, they're not as well known as other brands, I wouldn't say. Especially here in the UK, I'd probably say, you know, they're just starting to get quite big ever since Jeremy Bodina, or however you pronounce your last name, I do apologise, since he's become sponsored by them. You know, I would say they've definitely blown up in the past couple of years. So they're doing good things. In terms of this, I have heard good things about it. The last isolate that I did try was Dimetize. What flavour was it? Their chocolate flavour, and I could not fault it. I've gone for the vanilla flavour because, a bit like the chocolate, if you can't get this one right, chances are a lot of the other flavours may be a little bit off the beat. So yeah, and at the same time, if you are able to afford the more expensive one, then the good thing about it is vanilla and chocolate, they go with everything in terms of cooking, protein shakes, smoothies. You've got a whole world of options really that you can do with them. It's not like, for argument's sake, some of these really adventurous flavours where you're quite limited to what you can do. But anyway, let's get straight down to the ingredients, the macros, and then we'll do a mix test, taste test, so you guys know how good it is. What I'm going to do, because you're clearly not going to be able to see that, is I'm going to whip a big ingredients label up on the screen, and that way we can go through it together. So first of all, per serving there are 110 calories per serving per 30 grams scoop. I do apologise, I've just come out the gym, I've just done a big push-pull set, so I'm a bit blur. I really need this right now. So yeah, there's 110 calories per serving. Total fats is 0.5 grams, 0 saturated, 0 trans, which is a massive thumbs up. There's normally a little bit of one of the two in there, so cannot fault them there. Cholesterol 5 milligrams, happy days. Sodium 100 milligrams, no concerns. Total carbohydrates 1 gram. Now this is one of the reasons I'm quite interested to try this, because when I was doing Dimetize review, I believe there was about 2.5 grams of carbs, and I think about one of them was sugar. So this is saying there's 1 gram and it's not dietary fiber and it's not sugar, so I'm assuming where it's coming from is possibly from the flavourings, maybe a little bit from the protein blend. I am not too sure, because I can't see down here where in the ingredients label where it would be coming from. But at the end of the day, it's only 1 gram. It's not going to make and break the bank in terms of your macros if you're having to be really careful. It's only going to be 4 calories. I'm sure, you know, even if you are competing, yes, you have to be strict, but if it's down to 4 calories strict, I'd probably say take a chill pill, just saying. Anyway, and then protein is 25 grams, so overall it is strict. Like you can see straight away, in terms of isolate, it is a lot better, a lot cleaner cut than, for argument's sake, blended proteins. Anyway, further down you've got 0% of vitamin A, so why it's on the ingredients label I don't know, 0 vitamin C, 0% iron, but 10% calcium, and obviously that'll be coming from the whey isolate, with that being from milk, byproducts of cheese, so on and so on. Anyway, onto the ingredients label, and this is where things get a little bit interesting, / where I would say EVOGEN really kind of set themselves apart from the rest of the products on the market. Straight up, it's cold filtered whey protein isolate. It's not ion exchange, it's not heat exchange. You know, they're telling you exactly how they've done it. The reason why this is important is there's a lot of arguments out there that say that protein powders are a load of taboo, you know, it's just kind of witchcraft, they're no good, the whey protein, the isolates are sensitive to heat, so once they've used heat and things like that to separate them to get your powder, they're then useless. So the fact that we know it's cold filtered, whether or not they actually are useless, who knows, but by knowing it's cold filtered, you've got the best chance of it being useful for the body being able to use it. Thumbs up there. The next thing we've got on it is their natural and artificial flavors. I assumed that would be the case because there's 0 sugar in there. Now, I'm personally myself not a fan of natural and artificial flavors because they can condense a whole load of ingredients and that into the 2 categories that they just don't have to disclose, whatever, on the ingredients label. But that, we could go on into the ingredients label, the labeling type of thing, all day long. So I'm not going to get too caught up in that. It's just so you guys, you know, exactly kind of where these flavors are coming from and my views on them. The next thing then is we've got the xanthium gum and the sunflower lecithin. Now that is just literally for texture in the mouth, thickening, so hopefully this will be like a real nice shake in the mouth. The reason why they're important, especially with an isolate, is they do tend to be quite watery, quite thin, just because they haven't got that blend in there. It's not a bad thing, but it has been something that people do complain about and do dislike. Then obviously there's some salt in there, that's great. And then there's some vanilla bean in there, which is obviously for the vanilla bean flavour. So hopefully it's good to see that the flavour isn't all coming from natural and artificial flavours. Thumbs up there. Would have been nice to see it higher up on the list, but can't complain too much. Next thing we've got is some silicon dioxide. Not a clue about that. Hit me up in the comments if you really want to know why that's in there, and I will get that down to you. The next thing we've then got is the igniter, which is the big thing they're advertising. Basically, this igniter is an amino matrix release, or an amino release matrix, and basically what it does is it helps, it's basically 2 enzymes. You've got the endopeptide days and exopeptidase, which is this ignite thing, this patented product, and basically that helps. These enzymes are what your body use to basically absorb, break down the protein into aminos to use them. So the fact that they've got some of them in there is really good to see. My only bugbear with this is it's great to see there's some enzymes in there to help with breakdown and absorption, but as well I think it'd be really great to just see some dietary fiber in there, because I feel that's the one thing a lot of people are really deficient in, and it would make a world of a difference there being more dietary fiber in all products across the board, not just with the EVOGEN but everyone. But again, more politics. And then you've got some sucrose, anisole and potassium, which yeah, no worries there. So that is pretty much it. Overall a pretty clean ingredients and macros, can't complain too much other than obviously what we've already discussed. Let's get down to the mix test, let's see how it tastes and finish this up. So it says on the ingredients label or instructions, you want 6 ounces of cold water. I work in Mills over here in the UK, so it's about 170. So I'm just going to sort this out. I'm going to try not to get it all over me in the car, because that would just be a nightmare. So here we go. I always like to give them a little smell, just see how they are when first open the packet. Whoop. So first impressions from the smell, very good. Smells good, smells very vanilla-y. Smells good, so I can't complain. So in we go. Let's get all this in there. It is a big serving. Got 30 grams here. Let's get it all in there. Now, oh crap. Isolate should mix very well. There shouldn't be any lumps or any clumps or any floaters in this. So if there is, I will be very disappointed, because that's kind of one of the ideas of isolate. So let's see, let's get shaking. I'm not going to shake too much, just because one, with water it should mix better. If you were to use milk, you might get a little bit of clumps just with milk going frothy, but with water you shouldn't get any. So I think that'll about do. I've got my famous little glass here that I've been using for all my reviews. Got to lick the lid. Flavour seems interesting. I'm not too sure here. Let's go. Hopefully you guys, the viewers, can see this. So straight away, I can see there that there's some little bits of like vanilla and things in there. So it's looking quite positive. It's quite frothy, which it's probably from the thickeners, so that's nothing to be too concerned about. You know, that will die down. The vanilla beans, you know, they're slowly sinking, not too quick. You know, there's no floaters in the bottom there at the minute, no sinkers, sorry. So all good. Anyway, let's see how it tastes. So, texture wise with the water, it still feels a little bit thin for me, but not too thin. Like I say, it is on the thinner side, but it's nothing which I think you'd massively be too concerned about. That foam on top helps with kind of the overall texture and how it feels in your mouth. In terms of the taste, I'm not sure. I'm personally not too much of a fan. As you can see at the bottom now, I don't know if you guys can see there, they are starting to sink to the bottom, the vanilla bean bits. I'm not too convinced on the flavour myself. I'm a bit disappointed, in all fairness. Yeah, a bit disappointed with that. People are going to say, well, it's an isolate, you know, it's leaner, they haven't got as much room to play with in terms of flavourings. Okay, I appreciate that, but for the sake of half a gram, I'd rather have something that tastes very nice, especially if I am paying that bit more. It's not a horrible flavour, you won't be disappointed. I just want to pour some more in here. Like I said, you're not going to be disappointed. I'm disappointed because I was expecting good things. What I'm trying to say is, if you buy it, you're not going to be like, this tastes like garbage, what have I done? That is not going to be the case whatsoever. It's pleasant, you will be able to drink it, but I just feel it's not the best vanilla flavour protein powder out there, both isolate and protein blend. Now, like I was just saying, people say, well, you know, you're restricted with what you can work with. Okay, but at the same time, some of the companies out there which have a lot to play with in terms of macros and things like that, because the carbs are getting quite heavy, they taste like garbage. So I don't really take that as a valid reason for this not tasting kind of top of the line. In my head, I've got two vanilla flavours, which are just the best out there. Slightly different in terms of how they're marketed, like a French vanilla and a vanilla. Just looking back at this, it's called Vanilla Bean. Now, if you look on the front, it's showing you like ice cream. I was expecting more of a, like I say, vanilla bean, a very nice vanilla flavour. I would say that would have been better off calling this vanilla ice cream. but that's just my personal thoughts. If you are on more of the ice cream side of flavours, then that probably sums this up quite nicely. As you can probably see now, you know, the foam settled a bit. You've got a thin layer of foam, and then you've got your liquids, so can't really complain there. It's a good amount, but overall, I personally wouldn't buy this again. In terms of what's left at the end, you got your vanilla beans there, so that's interesting to see, but yeah. Anyway, everyone, that's it from me. Like I said, that's my general thoughts. It's okay. It mixes great. It tastes okay. I think the flavouring's probably a little bit misleading, like I say, vanilla ice cream as opposed to vanilla bean. But other than that, it's all right. It's all good. You know, I'll probably give it about 7 or 8 out of 10. You know, it's up there as good because the mixability, cost-wise, it's not too bad. But other than that, I just think taste-wise for me, it is a bit of a thumbs down there. Anyway, everyone, if you'd like to like and comment down below, if you've tried it before, let me know what you think of it, because I would really appreciate that. If you think some flavours taste better, let me know, because I'd love to give them a try and I can give a review on them. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you in a bit, everyone, and be sure to tune in next week for another video coming out. See you later.